Hello everyone. Today I will report on a project that ran within the Performance Environments Research Lab at the Ionian University in conjunction with East NDC activities since 2018. The subject and objective of the project is to create an environment for telematic dance. Telematic arts are arts that use the internet in order to enable remote collaboration and communication between artists, and also to create types of works of art that can be distributed between different remote locations using the internet. Telematic arts as a type of art is not a new idea. It started in the 70s as soon as the internet became available. And the term telematic arts was launched by Roy Ascott in his book, The Telematic Embrace. What interested me in this project was to explore how physicality meets virtuality. The physicality of the body of the performer, of the dancer who's moving, with the virtuality of the remote dancer that cannot be seen and whose state may only be guessed from the data that the dancer is able to send over the internet. For this purpose, I chose a specific, very abstract approach, relying only on data. This was a conscious choice in order to enable us to run the system independent of commercial streaming, video streaming and audio streaming facilities, relying only on low-level and easily accessible, low-bandwidth communication protocols. For this purpose, I had to develop a system that captures the movement of the dancer, and I chose sensors as opposed to video cameras because they are more reliable when they can be worn on the limbs of the dancer. I'm going to be reporting this project in turn. In this talk, I'm going to attempt to give a chronological account of the project since its very beginnings in 2019 and up to now. I will include all the technological stages as well, plenty of examples from rehearsals with dancers. The project was conceived in the beginning of 2018 while I was planning my sabbatical leave and visiting Tokyo during the spring term and summer term of 2018. The necessity for the project came from a practical standpoint because I wanted to participate in a project that was in Athens while I was in Tokyo. So instead of doing some live coding with streaming or doing an installation, I decided to do a performance where there would be dancers both in Athens and in Tokyo. This proved to be much more difficult than I thought, and it took me a whole year until I could, in fact, together with the help of my collaborators, realize this project of intercontinental dance. The first stage of this report will show the way up until 2019, where we presented our first performance in Stanford at the Linux Audio Conference in 2019, in conjunction with Athens and Corfu. The first hardware prototype for the project relied on a product by Adafruit called Featherhuza, which houses a Arduino-compatible microprocessor and is equipped with Wi-Fi using the ESP protocol. It's a very low-cost Wi-Fi platform. In the summer of 2018, I succeeded in connecting it to sensors, which gave us 3 types of axis movement using acceleration, magnetic, as well as temperature and gyroscope sensors. In all, there were 9 axes, 3 times 3 axes, XYZ axis in triplicate that were sampled using Python, and they were sent to SuperCollider via OSC wirelessly. Out of these 9 degrees of freedom, we only used 2 or 3 because they proved to be more than enough for the dancer to handle. Here is an extract from the very first rehearsal that we did with Asayo Hisai dancing, having just worn the sensor on her hand, and this is actually the very, very first raw encounter with a sensor from a dancer that is improvising spontaneously in order to explore, to see its sound capabilities. In this example, I'm using 2 axes to control the location of a sample in granulation in a sampler, the starting location of the grain envelope, and also the frequency with which this sample is being sampled. Next, we see how Jun Takahashi will join Asayo Hisai in improvising. This is the way in which Jun Takahashi and Asayo Hisai work together as choreographers and dancers, and we will see at the end how it leads to duos where collaboration becomes much more complicated than what we see at this first initial stage. Next, we're going to see Jun Takahashi exploring not samples, but unit generators that use simple sources such as sine waves, filters, and noise. The work continued in October of 2018 with two Greek dancers, Vasoflorou and Tatsos Papaspetridis. In this rehearsal, we will see them each wearing one censer and improvising a duet based on samples from a Monteverdi madrigal called Lamento della Ninfa. In 2020, we presented a duet version locally in Tokyo at Tama Art Festival. That was followed in 2021 by the first telematic performance between Hokkaido and Corfu. And finally, in November 2021, a telematic performance between Lisbon and Corfu. And we're going to see a brief extract of that. Since 2020, we are using the Sense Stage system by Maraje Balman, which proves much more reliable and easy to set up. Here we're going to see the latest rehearsal, which was made in Tokyo in 2022. And here we see a new approach, which is simplified and which is done in collaboration with the choreographers. As a brief conclusion, I would like to state that the collaborative aspect is the most important part of the project, and the coding part only has to catch up with the conceptual work done together with the workers. And this proves to be a very interesting and stimulating challenge for us. Thank you.
Mm.